Some new data on sports cards grading just dropped from GemRate. I'm going to walk through it because a lot of people are getting this wrong, and I want to kind of help them understand it. So the first picture here, this is November 2025, right? This column, if you look at month over month, again, that's this month versus October. You know, November's always a weird month. People are selling things in preparation of the holidays. There's less days, less business days. There's, holiday stuff like that. Month over month here is not so meaningful. A lot of people have made quick decisions and they've said like, oh, well, this means sports cards are down and we're screwed. I don't take much from this month over month column, but it was down versus October, which is good information. The year over year is more interesting to me. So you've got PSA, which has got like a 75% market share. They're growing at like 31%. Tag, Tag is a smaller company, so it's very easy to grow 200%, right? You've got a smaller base. The only thing I'd be worried about is SGC. It's almost like PSA is trying to phase them out, which I don't like. It's like they just wanted to acquire them to like curb stomp them. But that's what it feels like to me, and I don't love that. But the real revelation from this chart comes in a future slide. Let me walk through a couple more, but there is one big takeaway here that's interesting. I think you can use to your advantage. So if we go to the next one, this is sports, okay? This has a little bit of meaning. PSA is down 12% when it comes to sports cards year over year. You cannot hide that. And I myself have been feeling a drop coming for a while. When Bitcoin's down, that is like an American risk meter. And when the American risk meter goes down, in the case of Bitcoin or other crypto, it tells you that the appetite has gone down. And it's a symptom. It's like a cough. Could just be a minor cold. Could be the flu. Could be Ebola. Most likely in this case, I think there is some systemic correction coming. I was on Sports Card Nonsense last Monday. I got into a lot of trouble with that one, but I was talking about that, I had a lot of chips on the table. I didn't want to be a pig. I didn't want to be a bear either or a bull. I just didn't want to be a pig, and I wanted to take some profits, and so I'm liquidating some stuff. And one of those is my 1969 Topps NBA set, which I am auctioning off in January. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. I'll shoot you details, but it's going to be pretty awesome. So sports cards are down. That's a fact, okay? PSA is the barometer for sports cards, down 12%. Not too concerned yet, but it's something on the horizon. There are a lot of other factors to grading, right? Like people could be sick of the backlog, and they're just like, I'm just going to wait till this is done, and I can get my cards done cheaply and fast. That could be a bit there. Maybe the promotions are different last year versus now. There's a lot of factors, but it is an interesting data. The next data point is wild, okay? This is year over year for TCG. For those that don't know, that is trading card games, Yu-Gi-Oh!, but obviously Pokemon. Pokemon is ripping. I put together the first edition Shadowless set in like a PSA 9 and 10 combo. Earlier this year, the holos have doubled, and it's really pissing me off because I have 3 or 4 more to buy. Shout out if you got Raichu or Chansey or there's a couple others I need that aren't, like Beedrill, Farfetch'd, and a PSA 9 or higher. Definitely hit me up. I'll make a quick cash deal with you. But Pokemon's ripping, and it's going to continue to rip to the anniversary. This modern shit is a bubble. Like, it's a bubble. It's stupid. The behavior's terrible. There's fraud. That tells you it's a bubble. It's cool. It's expensive. It's hard to find if you don't get, destroyed or beat up at a vending machine. But Pokemon is driving everything right now. Like, tag is crazy. And even there are some cases where a tag 10 is now comparable to a PSA 10 for Pokemon, which is kind of insane. The tag's still a very, very small company, but Beckett's ripping, CGC's ripping, SGC's still down. This, again, I think PSA is phasing them. That's one of my takeaways from this, is PSA is phasing out SGC, which is anti-competitive and I don't like. That's very monopolistic. But that's not the biggest revelation. I'll tell you that in a minute. But just recognize that PSA is being kept afloat. This growth is being kept afloat by Pokemon right now. And Pokemon's not sustainable, so do the math on that assumption. Now here we go. This thing is wild. You look at this, CGC's growing, SGC's dying, Beckett and Tag are so minute it almost doesn't matter. But this, if you look at this, there's a tight band that PSA goes up and down in. Ignore the month over month stuff. You can see it's reactive, but there's a tight band at the top and there's a tight band at the bottom. And do you know why this chart looks like this? I've done some technical chart analysis in stocks before. This is an oscillation pattern. It's a tight oscillation band. This tells me PSA is running at near capacity and they are exceptionally sensitive to demand changes, staffing changes, and it's like an engine. It's running, the tachometer is running at like 8,000. And it makes you wonder why. I'll give you my thoughts at the end on why. I mean, I have some insider information I will share. But for now, let's just assume it's, balls to the wall. We're a young company. We need to grow. Now's our time. And they're showing it in this chart. They announced in November that the turnaround times have increased. It's because it's one of two variables they can control. They can control the speed of grading, and they can control the price of grading. If you want to reduce demand, you yank one of those levers. They yanked one in November to bring it back down, and it'll be interesting to see what the data shows next month about December. But there's a tight band here, and there's a reason for that. Now, my thoughts on PSA and what's going on here. We know Whatnot's worth 8 figures now, 11 or 12 based on the latest round. My estimates tell me PSA is worth less than that. It's probably high single digits. And I think that Nat is a PE guy, and he wants to make this company look as valuable as possible, and you can do that through revenue. You can do that through EBITDA. I heard through the grapevine what their EBITDA is, and it's very healthy, very healthy EBITDA. You know what? F it. Their EBITDA, I think I was told it was like a rolling 12-month billion. Which puts this company, I mean, depending on the multiples you use, yada, 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 high single-digit billions, less than Whatnot, though. And you want to rip. If you're at this stage, it's just go. Just go, baby, go. Make this company look really good for an acquisition target, or make this company less likely good for an IPO. I don't think that's happening. I think GameStop wants to look very attractive. I'm sorry. That was a Freudian slip. PSA wants to look very attractive for either GameStop or Meta or Walmart or Amazon. Somebody with cash. They're going to look at this space and be like, damn, are these the margins? You will print money. PSA prints money because they're an expected value play. It's just a calculation of your odds to get a 10. You time that odds by the outcome, and they're just a cash machine for collectors. So this cash machine is going to start becoming very attractive to buyers. And I imagine we will see something in the next year or two where there's a merger or acquisition of some kind with PSA. I would love... Nat's not going to say anything. Ryan's not going to say anything. I talk to both those guys. Sometimes I poke them a little bit with my experiments on grading. I got a really fun one, actually. I'm going to show you real quick before I sign off. See all these labels right here? These are all PSA 9 labels for 86 Fleer. I've sent them out to players. I've taken high-res photos of every angle, surface, corners, before sending them out. I've got 4 back, and I have analyzed them. There have been no changes. I'm being very public about this on Instagram. They're watching. I see them watching. And I am going to send, I think there's like 20 or 22 here. I'm going to send them in. And I want to make sure there's no pop control going on. And if they do, again, I have before and after shots. I will put everything on blast. So again, I do these experiments. I do like Ryan, if he's watching this video. And I do like Nat, if you're watching this video. I respect you guys, but I have to continue to challenge these things and make sure everything's on the up and up, and it's not personal. Although this is personal because I've got a really nice 86 Fleer autograph set that I'm trying to improve with a bunch of 910s for players. So anyway, those are my 2 cents on gem rate, which I think is very interesting. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, everyone.